Hey guys, time for another chicken update. It's really nice and sunny out today. We got these, I don't know if you can see them. No, hold on, let me make it. There we go. Nice blue skies, but it's a little chilly. It's been down in the 40s the past couple of nights, so kind of glad I didn't get my garden in a couple weeks ago when I wanted to, because it's gotten down into the low 40s, so a little too chilly for you know, a lot of those summer veggies, especially being so young. So kind of glad I ended up not getting around to that. That'll hopefully go in this weekend. The weather looks pretty good from here on out. So and usually Mother's Day around here is considered our safe frost-free plant date, even though like mid-April is usually our frost-free date if you like look it up by zone. But most people around here will tell you that Mother's Day is it. So I'm up at the top of the house right now because all my hose is up here for the water. Tom mowed last night, so we needed to move this. We've tried a lot of other ways of getting water all the way down the hill to the birds, but we have found that just running about 400 feet of hose is the easiest way to go about that. So we thankfully have a gravity to really help us out, which is handy. So I'm gonna go ahead and move that down the hill, and we're gonna check on the chickens. And I can't find my nice digital hanging scale anywhere. It usually is in with all my processing stuff, and it wasn't, and I looked somewhere else. So we got an old school, not digital one, and I grabbed a bucket. So we're gonna try to weigh the chickens and see how the weights compare. Alright, so I was gonna try and actually like weigh them while on video, and yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Definitely need to get a little like tripod or something, because the selfie stick and one hand trying to weigh birds was not working. So anyways, weighed them out, and the Cornish crosses are coming in at about 3 to 3.5 pounds. Even had one that was like pushing close to 4 pounds. So definitely, you know, nice and hefty at this point. They are 5 weeks old right now today. So you know, definitely they should kind of already be looking different, you know, than even last week as far as just size. One thing I wanted to point out is that if you can kind of see how like matted down and pooped on the grass gets, and you can definitely see this is the part where they're undercover. So they, you know, are hanging out under here more than they are over here. But they definitely do a number on the grass. I mean, now granted, our grass comes back, and it's like you can totally see where we run the tractors, you know, during the next season or in the fall, because the grass is so green and lush. But you can kind of see like the impact that they have on the grass as far as just like kind of matting it down and pooping all over it. One big thing that we've noticed is with the Red Rangers, here's what their grass looks like yesterday. You could definitely see, you know, some manure, but it doesn't look nearly as damaged as where the Cornish crosses are. And you can almost kind of see, I don't know if it might not show up as well on video, but you can kind of see where they've like eaten and like trimmed it. So they're kind of, instead of just like matting it down and, you know, pooping on top of it, they're actually more like mowing. And let's peek in at these guys. So these guys are definitely a lot smaller. These guys only weighed like 1.5 pounds or so. So they're like half the size of the Cornish crosses at this point. Now these guys are a day younger, but I really don't think at this point in the game that that's going to make much of a difference. But do you see how lively these guys are? Like, that just amuses me. Like, they're super lively, they're playing, they're running around. They were super hard to catch. I literally sat in one spot and weighed like 7, 8 Cornish crosses with just like reaching out and grabbing them. These guys I was trying to like chase all over the place. But like, just look at the grass. Like, here's their undercover portion. And, you know, there's definitely, again, some manure, but not nearly as matted down as the Cornish crosses. So, you know, I kind of like that factor too, because you kind of look, it's not maybe as visible to you guys, But here's the line of the Red Rangers, and then here is the line of the Cornish crosses. And I mean, it definitely, it's hard to tell the detail, but it's more damaged for sure. So, you know, maybe if you're looking for something that's a little more light impact on your ground, you know, the Red Rangers might be more where it's at. We're moving them pretty much every day. The top parts here, you know, we're doing every other day because they were just a little smaller and our weather wasn't that great. But, you know, pretty much every other day, you know, within 48 hours, they're being moved. So, you know, they're not sitting on this grass for very long. So I'm definitely surprised and not surprised at the weights. You know, it definitely at this point, the Cornish crosses are, you know, growing kind of double, but they're also eating double. So, really curious to see kind of what our end results are. You know, we are going to have to take the Red Rangers longer to hit the weights that we would with the Cornish crosses in 8 weeks. But I am kind of curious to see in the end, you know, do they really consume more feed? The Red Rangers are definitely doing a better job at foraging and still, you know, not consuming a ton of feed, but they are smaller. So keep you guys posted with how things are going. I'll try in my next video to talk a little bit about just our tractor system. This has been a big trial and error system for us. This is our either 6th or 7th batch of birds. We definitely have settled on this system, but just talk about some of the modifications we've had to make due to predator issues and things we've tried and liked and things we have tried and ditched. So I will talk about that in my next video and let you guys know how these guys continue to grow. Make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and leave any comments or questions you have below. Thanks, guys.